Alright, topical storm in a hotel room again. I'm in Sutton Coldfield, just north of Birmingham tonight, and there's a few bits I want to talk about, so I thought I'd do this. Firstly, excuse the state of my bar, I've just got a shower. I'll do the you know, if you like the video, like it, subscribe, hit the bell, all that. If you don't want to, don't. The language is going to be quite colourful tonight, so if you've got kids near you, stick your headphones on, and if you don't like that, watch something else. It's absolutely fine. Right, firstly, this Legends podcast that I do, I'm going to change it up a little bit, so I thought I'd just let you know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do one live once a month and do some pre-recorded stuff in between that, because there's loads of people I want to get through, and I don't actually know that many people, so I'm going to fucking run out of guests soon. So that's what I'm going to do with that. But yeah, I've got one coming up probably in about 3 weeks, and it's not always going to be like content creators or, you know, YouTubers that I have on as guests. There's going to be people that I've interacted with off Twitter who I just like and find interesting, and so we're going to do that. It's not going to be a case of just getting people on because, you know, they've got big channels and it's going to help me, that sort of thing. It's literally all about people who are interesting to me coming on as well. And I'm going to change the first segment, which I called Random Legend, after Albert's one about Baroness Dorian Thomas the other night. It seemed a little bit disrespectful to call it Random Legend, so that's going to be changed to Total Legend, and Arsenal Legend is going to be changed to Club Legend, just to open it up to, you know, because I converse with fans of other clubs occasionally, and it would be nice to get them on as well. So that's what we're going to do there. But back to all things current and Arsenal. The whole Unai Emery thing, I know it's probably a little bit a week late or so, but it really pissed me off. Like, everyone's banging on because he got him into semi-finals, and all of a sudden he's the best thing since sliced bread. Now, the thing with Unai Emery, he does seem like a really, really nice bloke, but that's perhaps his problem. Maybe he's a little bit Roy Hodgson, if you like. You know, I mean, Roy done great at Grasshoppers, Zurich, Fulham, Crystal Palace, but then when he went to Liverpool and he was England manager, not so great. And Unai Emery, PSG, not so great. Arsenal, not so great. Villarreal, brilliant. And it strikes me that maybe these guys are just too nice, and they can't, they don't have the necessary steel to deal with the toxicity, the egos in the dressing room. And if you cast your minds back with Unai Emery, like, his first act was to make Mesut Ozil the focal point of the team, which didn't really work out especially brilliantly. Then he allowed the players to choose who the captain should be, which to me showed weakness as a leader. And then towards the end, it's like 30 plus shots on our goal off Watford in one game. Watford in one game. And then the fans voted with their feet and decided not to come to the games. Now, you could make the comparison with Unai Emery and Mikel Arteta, and yeah, Mikel was lucky that there were no fans in stadiums when we went for that awful patch through November and December of last season. But it is what it is, and yeah, I just wanted to address that really, because at the end of the day, Villarreal are 7th in a 3-team league at the moment, so he's not the be-all and end-all. We all know he's a great European competition manager, as long as the final's not in Baku. But yeah, that was all I wanted to say on that bit. Right, 4th place. Now, I said at the start of the season, if we were to get 6th, I would see that as progress. We're currently in 6th. I know we've had our heads turned with 4th place, and you could, people, if they want to come at me for this, that's absolutely fine. I'm not accepting mediocrity. It's just, we are not ready for the Champions League with the squad we've got now. And I know last summer the incomings and the transfer business was good, but we need between 7 and 10 players to come in this summer if we're to impact on the Champions League at all. And I personally think that's too much. Like I said, I'm not accepting mediocrity. We need to be patient with this. You look at all the shit that Arteta's had to get rid of, and a lot of them are still out on loan, and we've got to bring more players in as well. We just ain't ready for it. Europa League, perhaps. But I fully expect if we were to get in the Champions League, we wouldn't get out of the group stage, and we might end up finishing bottom and then having no European football at all. So maybe you've got to hedge bets a little bit. And I know that they've left us short with the lack of activity in the January transfer window. Maybe that was planned. I don't know. We don't know what goes on. It's very, very easy to speculate. But there were players available that we could have gone for, but maybe they just didn't fit, the profile. Personally, when you look at what Bruno's doing at Newcastle, that sucks. That really, really sucks. Which kind of brings me to the next thing with this. Are you Arteta in or are you Arteta out? This has been going on since AFTV first started doing the fucking fan cams, and they got a lot to answer for here. I have a really, really big problem with us as a fan base or supporters being what's the word? Just why do we have to be manager in or manager out? Why can't we just be supporters of the football club? Defined, that's it. We don't have to be defined by whether we think the manager should be there or not. And this goes back a long way. It goes back to the days of Arsene Wenger. And why should we be defined that way? Well, I see you have two things. You have fans. Now, if you look at an electric fan, it oscillates. And if you don't know what the meaning of that word is, it means it changes direction. And I've seen fucking so much of that this week. Or you have supporters. Now, to support is to hold up and make stronger. And that's what we're supposed to be doing. I don't know if Mikel Arteta is the right man for the job or not. Like I say, I said at the start of the season, if we get sixth, that's progress. We are currently there at the moment. If we drop further away and we have a third season where we come eighth and he's got a year left on his contract, then you've got to wonder what the hierarchy will do. Personally, I think they'll keep him. Because let's face it, he was given the job because he was the cheaper option of anything else that was out there. And I've said time and again, I like the bloke. He's the manager of my football club, so I'll support him. Last 3 games have been awful. The results have been terrible and the performances haven't been great. But a lot of that comes down to our lack of, well, 2 things. Defensively, we look really, really shaky at the moment. And in the attacking third, we're just not incisive enough. We're not taking the chances that we're creating. We're not really creating that much. If teams sit off us and defend, we're making their jobs really, really easy for them. We're a good counter-attacking side. And when you look at how we played against Southampton, like the numbers on the board, we just ruled it in every single department except the one that counts the most. And there were chances that weren't taken. And we need to get back to taking those chances. Which leads me on to my next subject is captain Alexander Lacazette. Now I've lauded him all season. I've loved the things that he's done, not looking at his statistics, just the way he's played the game, what he's given to the team, and a young team. He's been a really good leader. But I think it's since the 2-0 loss to Liverpool in the league, when he got really found out, he's like woefully just short of what's required as a number 9. And when you think that in 25 games he scored 4, assisted 7, that's roughly a goal involvement every 3 games, which is not great. And then the statement he put out today, it's an odd one. To start with, I was like, well, yeah, you might well miss the Champions League, mate, but if you scored a few more fucking goals, then maybe you wouldn't be missing the Champions League. But then I think there are so many times when players have left and they've been asked a question, they've been coy and quiet about it, and he's at least been transparent and honest. And he said, look, I'm talking to other clubs, I want to see what's out there. But the thing is, you're a 30-year-old number 9 who scored 4 goals in 25 games. I don't see anyone who's qualifying for the Champions League going in for you. Even if you're a free transfer, you're still going to have to make weight that with your wages. So I think it was a little bit foolish to go into the way you put it out. Like I said, the honesty of saying that you talk to other clubs, got to respect that. Because I'm sick of players, like I said, being coy and not saying anything, and all of a sudden they get the big move. But yeah, maybe you should have scored some more goals. I don't know. Well, maybe something's happened behind the scenes on that one. Not really sure. Looking ahead, fixtures. Obviously we've got some really tough ones coming up, and we've struggled against teams that have sat back against us. I'm fairly certain Chelsea will sit back and try to counter us, because they've seen that that's our Achilles heel at the moment. I expect teams like Man U and West Ham to come at us, which will suit our game, will suit our style of play, because our counter-attacking, the way we've moved the ball or transitioned it through defence, midfield and attack, has been quite impressive since the turn of the year. And also, obviously, the North London derby is a huge one. Let's not forget Spurs have got Liverpool to play, and they've always got a bit of Spursiness in them. And after they play Sunday lunchtime against a Burnley side who may well still be fighting for their lives, with probably a caretaker manager in. So make no bones about it, they're going to be super up for that. And we get an extra day's rest playing Newcastle on the Monday night, who appear to be safe. Obviously they've got things to prove, but that needs to be taken into account. It's vitally important that we do not lose Wednesday, and if we can even just get a win, possibly by 11 clear goals, then that'll put us level on points with the Swamp Dwellers with a better goal difference. So yeah, that's the thing. 11-0 against Chelsea, that'll do. That's about it with the football stuff. Interesting and kind of funny story to tell you. So last night I had to drive my eldest to London, to London Victoria coach station, because she was getting a overnight coach down to Falmouth, where she's due to go to uni in the summer. She's doing like a 7-year architecture degree, and they had already booked a train to go there, but to get to London Victoria. But I was like, no, I'm not having you bouncing around that part of London at 11 o'clock on a Sunday night. So I drove them down there, and first thing, I mean, I grew up in London, but I'm country mouse now, and I've been away from London for a lot of years, and it just, fuck me, it just struck me as like, it's 10:30 at night on, not a normal night, it's a Sunday, not even a normal Sunday, it's like Easter Sunday, and the place is just so fucking busy, just stuck in traffic constantly. And I found myself, people were bibbing at me because weirdly I'm quite considerate, and if I can give someone a chance to pull out a junction, I'll probably do it, but apparently that's not the dumb thing. And then we found the car park that I was going for, so we got in there, and that cost me 15 quid to park for about an hour. And the funny thing is, I had 2 options. It was like, I could park for 8 seconds for about £4.50, or I could park for the rest of my fucking life for 15 quid. So that's what I chose. And then I dropped them at the station. Loads of people were talking to me, thinking I was their fucking driver, picking them up from there. That wasn't the case. And then I walked really quickly back to the car, and I drove away. And to get from what is essentially kind of southeastern central London back to the M1, it took me fucking 45 minutes. And this is like between 11 and 12 o'clock at night. it's just, the place is so busy. Anyone who drives around there, and I know people who drive around there. My good friend Albert off Albert JTV, he spends an awful lot of time driving around London, and I have to say, I don't know how you people do it, and you have my undying respect for being able to drive around London during the day. Because like I said, it took me 45 minutes at probably 11:45 at night on Easter Sunday. So I've no idea how you guys do it during the day. It's just fucking mental. That's about all I've got to say, really. I'm going to go and have a bite to eat and fall asleep in a little while. But wherever you are, be good. And try to stay out of mischief. I'll see you next time. Ta-da.